Hey, it's been a while. Truth be told, I've been busy writing another film script the last few weeks, so I had to cut back on my M.L. Miller Frights time. That, plus the never-ending that never seems to go away, plus the day job has made it very difficult for me to not only post new reviews, but actually see new horror movies to review. Long story short, I was a bit busy, so my new reviews are going to fall back a bit, but just for a little while. I'll still report about solid horror films like the one we're looking at today, Shudder's From Black. Welcome back to M.L. Miller Frights. I'm M.L. Miller. Before we begin, please do me a favor and punch that like button down below. Share this video with all of your social media addicted pals, click subscribe to this channel, and ring that bell for notifications. From Black is new streaming on Shudder. It's directed by Thomas Marchese and written by Jessup and Thomas Marchese. From Black follows the plight of recovering drug addict Cora, played by Anna Camp, whose child went missing while she was drugged up a few years ago. While attempting to cope with the loss in a support group, she meets Abel, played by John Ailes, who himself has suffered the great loss of his daughter. Abel is compelled to speak with Cora after she opens up for the first time in group with her sad story. Turns out Abel knows a way for Cora to see her daughter again. She just has to perform an unconventional ritual and make a deal with the demon. While Cora is extremely skeptical that Abel is a loon, he convinces her to hear him out, and when she witnesses something unexplained in one of their practice rituals, Cora becomes convinced that Abel's proposition might actually lead to her being reunited with her daughter. From Black is split into two tales, one that follows Cora's long path to learn and eventually perform the ritual, and the other the bloody aftermath where Cora's sister, Bray, played by Jennifer LaFleur, investigates what just went on during the ritual where Cora was found in a room marked with odd symbols and covered in blood that is not her own. While I was unnerved and my emotions certainly moved, I wasn't very scared of From Black. The film spends an extremely long time focusing on the ritual itself. Reminiscent of another ritual process-oriented film, A Dark Song, which itself was an extremely serious and morose little number released a few years ago, the bulk of From Black involves Cora being taught by Abel how to perform the ritual, as she has to do it herself and can't receive help from anyone else once the process is started. I appreciated the attention to detail involving the specific type of salt needed and the focus on spiritualism. Like all good deal with the devil stories, nothing comes without a price, and the story has a wonderful way of distracting you with investment into Cora's hopes and the little details of the ritual, so that it can pull a very solid shockaroo towards the end. Anna Camp is a very strong actress. I've only seen her from her brief stint on True Blood and the few scenes I've seen from the Pitch Perfect movies. This seems like a real departure from some of the stuff she has done lately, and her performance as Cora is indeed heartbreaking. There's one detail about her performance that bothered me though. Some people, when they cry, they pull their lips back, and it almost looks like they're smiling. There were scenes in this movie where it looked like Camp was smiling inappropriately during highly dramatic moments. I knew she wasn't meaning to do this, but it distracted me enough to be taken out of the drama, so I felt it was worth mentioning. The demon itself, with its ram horns and shielded face, is indeed imposing. It's a full-body costume and looks fantastic. From afar, it looks like the demon is wearing a pot on its head, but its dramatic mannerisms helped me shake this goofy observation. Towards the beginning, there are a few moments where the sound design wasn't able to make the demon's speech understandable. It whispers when it speaks, and it just didn't feel clear in those first moments that we saw the monster. Later in the film, the demon's speech is much more discernible, though. I wasn't expecting the feel-good missing kid film of the year from Black, but it did feel like it took itself a bit too seriously, and the tone really is a downer. From Black is a solid film. It's capably acted, it looks great with marvelous set design and mysterious cinematography. It's got an interesting story, and it even sets up a mystery that is compelling to follow. The stakes are high, and the climax is pretty awesome, especially the ending. Most of that is because Anna Camp is a strong actress. And on top of it all, the film makes the ritual and the demon itself intriguing and worth paying attention to. The main problem I had with this film is that it is utterly joyless. Like many modern quote-unquote elevated horror films like Midsummer, Hereditary, The Babadook, and a bunch of other lower-budgeted films that attempt to capture the tone of those first three in particular, From Black never allows for a moment of brevity, a minute to have some fun being scared, or simply let any of the cast smile. It's an extremely depressing situation Cora finds herself in, and I understand that drug addiction and missing children are not real fodder for joke material. But films like this which wallow in the sorrow are often very hard to endure. There are little things about this movie that bothered me. Cora immediately picks up how to draw all of these symbols from a very short time of teaching towards the end. I also thought that while John Ailes is convincingly desperate and overcome with emotion in parts, there are other moments towards the climax that I could feel him trying to act instead of simply acting. Jennifer LaFleur, on the other hand, is wonderful all the way through as a sister who is sick of the chaos surrounding her own sister, but still struggles to love her. If you're in a sour mood and kind of want to sink lower, I'd recommend From Black, because investing in these characters surely means that you're going to have your emotions wrung by the time the credits roll. It does a good job of depicting the sadness and sorrow, but still it offers up little more than that. I'm going to recommend From Black cautiously, because I think it is a noble stab at dramatic horror.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're doomed. Oh, you're doomed. You're